Traveler. Hi, Mark.
Kinich! Fancy meeting you here.
I'll get straight to the point. I accepted a proposal from Elder Trinidad.
You weren't still his first choice. It's just, it looks like, promise.
Jill, it's cool. I only mention it because there's something you should know. I suspect Elder Trinidad has a his true intention is to resolve the Mountain King problem once and for all.
Once and for all? You mean this'll be the last Turnfire night ever?
That's right. He wants to use you to send the Mountain King to the Night Kingdom.
To the Night Kingdom? You mean...
To his death.
Whoa, are you serious right now? You shouldn't go blurting out accusations like that. It could get you in trouble.
Too blunt? Okay. I'll phrase it more gently. There is potentially a possibility that Elder Trinidad may be hoping that during the course of the ceremony, you kill the Mountain King dead.
But that's ridiculous. He told us the Mountain King is a living symbol of your tribe's glory.
And that glory comes at a price.
Oh, that's right. The Mountain King is a living symbol of our glory, but even this glory comes at a price. Yes, and the Na wasn't the first.
She likely won't be the last to lose her life either.
Still, is killing the Mountain King really the only way? It seems so extreme.
The Mountain King is a unique case when it comes to abyssal contamination. It's eaten away at him for so long that it has consumed him entirely, and the damage is irreversible. That evil power has both driven him insane and kept him alive over the centuries. So, to look at it one way, once it's completely purged from his body, the Mountain King will finally be able to rest in peace. In past ceremonies, we've only purged around half of the abyssal power. This was to strike a balance, to keep him alive, but also keep him asleep.
Trinidad didn't say anything about how much power he wanted us to purge, but he did say there were some more details to go over before the ceremony.
Then it sounds like you'll know for sure soon enough.
If he really asks us to kill the Mountain King, what should we do?
I know this must come as quite a shock, so I suggest you act like you didn't hear anything for now. But would you have time to visit the chief after your meeting with Elder Trinidad? I'd like to make a deal with you.
What kind of deal?
One that comes at a very reasonable price. I'm sure you have plenty of other questions, but we can... Good. See you soon.
Ah, mighty Outlanders, you have returned. Did you have a good rest?
It was, pretty good.
Glad to hear it. Things are progressing very smoothly on my end. Many of the elders have heard of your heroic deeds, including the chief. They all speak very favorably of you. There are still those who insist that the ceremony should be performed by the bearer of the Malipo name. But they're just stuck in the past. We need to move with the times.
Plus, kinich doesn't want to do it anyway.
Exactly. So, now, it's time for us to discuss the finer details of the ceremony. We covered the fire lighting part of the proceedings yesterday. The next part is the purification of the Mountain King. It's quite simple. You just need to use the sacred flame. We've done it plenty of times before, and it's always very routine. I'm sure you won't. One point I'd like to stress, though, is that you need to burn away as much of the abyssal energy as you possibly can. The more...
Asleep, huh?
Precisely. In previous years, the flame bearer has often been unable to dispel a sufficient amount of abyssal energy. That's the only reason why we have to perform the ceremony on a regular basis. But I understand that you have a lot of experience fighting against the abyss, and you seemed to wield the sacred flame quite effortlessly yesterday. With your help, I'm optimistic this time we can dispel all the remaining abyssal energy from the Mountain King's body, freeing us from this ever-looming threat for many years to come.
Traveler?
So this doesn't faze you at all, huh? You clearly have a lot of confidence in yourself. That's all you really need to know. The ceremony's in 3 days. I'll come and fetch you when we're ready. In the meantime, feel free to take a look around our settlement. It would mean a lot. And if you wouldn't mind helping them out with a few errands here.
So now we have extra errands to run? Maybe we should add a little extra to the price.
Just a humble suggestion, that's all. I'll be sticking around for the next few days. So...
Seems like kinich was right. We should go meet up with him right away.
Huh, you're here.
Kinich, Elder Trinidad said that...
I can tell. It's written on your faces.
Is that the Traveler in Paimon? Forgive me for not being there to welcome you on your arrival. That should have been my duty as chief.
Hello, Chief Waina.
I only heard the news from Trinidad yesterday, so I asked Kinich to invite you over for a quick... I believe Kinich has already filled you in, so I'll get straight to the point. Firstly, I fully endorse your appointment as flame bearers for the upcoming Turnfire Night. However, I would like to request that you take steps to ensure the Mountain King's safety. Every child of our tribe grows up hearing the tales of our heroes, from Yupanqui the Firebringer to Burkina and the Mountain King who fought against the Abyss. This is our history and our heritage, the source of our pride and the center of our faith. To kill the Mountain King would be to destroy our spirit. I would never be able to face our ancestors in the Night Kingdom. Nana's death was a great tragedy, and I do not blame Trinidad for the actions he has taken. Nevertheless, I cannot allow any harm to come to the Mountain King. The very roots of our identity are at stake. My honored guests, please give this matter your serious consideration. Perhaps there is, but despite all our attempts to contain the situation over the years, we've not found it. Right now, I should like to hear where you stand on this matter. Though I sense that your mind is not yet made up, I'm still comforted by your words. There are 3 days left before the ceremony. I hope they will bring you clarity.
So, kinich, earlier you were saying that...
Let's walk and talk. I'll show you around the tribe.
That works too. Kinich, Paimon finally understands why you turned Trinidad down. You knew what he was planning, didn't you? That's why you didn't...
Double-edged sword is right. But my response wasn't merely an excuse. To solve this exceptional problem, an exceptional price must be paid. I'm working on it.
Really? Well, come on.
In a moment. Didn't you have a question you were about to ask me?
Oh, yeah. What was it again? Oh, right. We need to talk about Hal. He's completely unhinged.
I agree that he has a problem. He needs disciplining, so I hired him a teacher.
You got him a teacher? Oh, Paimon would love to see him get scolded for bad behavior. Anyway, moving on. When we ran into a Hal, he said you two were investigating some abyss thing together. Is that related to the whole Mountain King situation?
Yes, that's the angle I've been working on. I'm a Saurian hunter, but I occasionally hunt the abyss too. One time I was pursuing some purple demonic dogs when I accidentally entered a hidden space. I did some research after the fact. Apparently they're known as beastly rifts, and there are many of them of all different sizes. That's where those purple dogs were coming from. So, if we can locate one of these beastly rifts, clear the monsters out, and move the Mountain King inside, he'd be able to continue living, but without posing a threat to the tribe.
Whoa, that sounds kinda crazy. Would it really work?
It's not without its risks, of course. There's a lot of unknowns in the equation. For instance, for all we know, a prolonged period inside the rift could make the Mountain King's condition worse. Still, we desperately need something like this, even just as a temporary measure. You've seen the conflict the issue is causing in our tribe for yourselves, and believe me, it's been a long time coming. The chief is adamant about keeping the Mountain King alive, whatever happens.
Paimon can understand. It's less about the Mountain King and more about preserving your culture and heritage.
Yes, but on the flip side, you've got people like Elder Trinidad, who is more concerned about protecting the people he cares about now and into the future. And he has every right to take that view. It's one thing to try and preserve the last remnants of a glorious past, but making your kin pay the price for it? No one can seriously tell them that's a fair trade.
You're right. There's no easy answers here. Let's leave that to one side for a moment and assume we go with your plan. How do you actually intend to find one of these beastly rifts? Because at least in our experience, the dogs open the rifts when they want to attack us, not the other way around.
I think I know a way. You have any better ideas?
Not at the moment, but it just feels like using the power of the Abyss for our own ends isn't gonna end well. After all, the Abyss is what turned the Mountain King into a monster in the first place. People are gonna think you've lost your marbles.
If it doesn't end well, then that's the price we pay. Everything in the world comes at a price. Even when Yupanqui, the Firebringer, stole the Turnfire, it cost him dearly. The Mountain King's erratic outbursts have brought tensions within the tribe to a boiling point. Unless this gets resolved quickly, everyone will be stuck in a stalemate.
All right, so what's this deal you wanted to make with us? We're hardly experts on exploiting abyssal power.
All I need you to do is keep people away from me. I'm getting harassed on a daily basis by people trying to convince me to be the flame bearer. I can't afford to waste all my energy dealing with them. If you help me out, there'll be a gift for you in return.
Ooh, what kind of gift?
Something well worth your while, I'd say. Just keep doing what you've been doing. Integrate yourself with the tribespeople, so everyone comes to terms with the fact that we have a new flame bearer. That way, I won't have an endless stream of people coming to beg me to join the ceremony, and I can focus on finding a way to summon the beastly rift. Then, when the day of the ceremony comes, we'll move the Mountain King into his new home.
Still sounds pretty crazy. Even for a daredevil like you, that's dangerous. And even if it works, what if neither Chief Wyna nor Elder Trinidad are happy with it? Have you thought about what you'd do then?
At least the two of them would finally be on the same side of the issue, leaving only me on the opposing side. The tribe needs leaders like them far more than a Saurian hunter for hire like me. Can I take that to mean that we have a deal?
For sure. And who knows? Maybe we'll come up with an even better solution to all of this in the next couple of days.
Great. Well, for the next couple of days, please spend some time among the tribe and lend a hand wherever you can. Good luck to us both.
Take flight!
Okay, task for the day. Meet the tribe's people and take some heat off of Kinich's back.
Pony, how can...
Because he hurt a lot of people. And look what...
But it wasn't on purpose.
That's true. But the fact remains that he's now a threat to all of us.
How can you be so harsh to someone who's sick?
Toba, Kuni, what's wrong?
Hello?
Pony's saying nasty things about the Mountain King. It's not right. He's our hero.
Once upon a time, maybe. But not anymore.
Yesterday, maybe, but not anymore.
Toba? Fine. I guess my dad is right. Things change, and you just have to accept it and move forward. As of today, our friendship is over. There's no going back. Oh, come on, cut it out, you two. We have some great news. The Traveler is gonna be the flame bearer for the next Turnfire night.
What? Really?
So that's what my dad wanted to talk to you about? To be fair, from what we saw the other day, you are pretty good at climbing.
Wait, speaking of kinich...
Oh, yeah. Good question. We can get him to come. But if he catches you two fighting again, he won't be...
No, we can't let that happen.
I didn't mean to argue with Toba. Yeah, if you weren't friends, there's no way Toba would have come to look... All right. Well, because it's the Traveler and Dad just really misses Nana...
Huh? Oh. I shouldn't have spoken to you the way I...
That's more like it. Now you're best friends again. Guess so. Toba, if I ever say I'd better go buy some colored cloth for my dad now. See you, Toba. See you, Traveler and Paimon.
Okay. I'll head home as well then.
Okay, take care, you two. Even though I said they're sorry, it looks like they're... Let's just hope we can solve this once and for all. Come on, let's move on. Huh? What's going on over there? Let's take a look. Hey there! What's happening here?
A rehearsal for the Turnfire Night dance.
Ooh, there's a dance involved? Paimon wants to learn too.
You don't know it? Ah, I guess you're not from these parts, huh? It's rare to see a new face around the tribe these days. I thought everyone would be keeping away.
Why do you say that?
Because of the Turnfire Night, of course. The Mountain King could wake up at any time. That's why we're holding an emergency ceremony. This isn't one of those fun and games festivals. For outsiders, it might even be a little dangerous.
Well, did you know that the Flame Bearer this time is actually gonna be an outsider?
Oh, I did hear about that. It's a first for sure. I would have loved to meet them in person. What? Oh, it's you? It's funny. I was just thinking that I'll probably miss out on meeting the new Flame Bearer.
You're not taking part in the Turnfire Night? How come? You're not an outsider too, are you?
You must be joking. Watch this. Not bad, right? Yeah, I'm considered one of the better-looking guys who did.
Oh, very impressive.
Well, I feel like the whole Mountain King situation is getting more and more precarious. The question is, what are we going to do about this in the long term? The way things are going, it's only a matter of time before it gets violent. So I figured...
You look a little disappointed.
Disappointed? Nah, it's a great I managed...
What's the sort...
You've never heard of it? It's a group of... Speaking of which, the guy who was flamed...
A how? A how's a relic from an ancient Saurian...
Oh, yeah, him. So you know those two already, huh? Then, do you know how they met? It was deep inside some mysterious ruin, and they signed a contract there. The association folks say that the kind of contract usually comes with a huge hidden cost.
Really? That sounds ominous.
Who knows? But if it's true, Kinich can probably handle it. He knows what he's doing with weighing up contracts and costs and stuff. I doubt he'd make a contract that doesn't benefit him. Strangely enough, I actually happened upon a strange mural a while back, and it looked to me like it was depicting a Saurian and a human involved in some...
Oh, does that count as a relic then?
You bet it does. I was all ready to go take a picture of it and use that as my entry ticket to the association. But after all the abyssal activity recently, I heard that area's been overrun by monsters. The best laid plans, huh? Or... You look like you know your way around a fight.
If all you need to get is a picture, that should be pretty achievable, right? The Traveler deals with monsters all the time.
Wait, you're seriously gonna...
Come on, it's no big...
Pyro Archon above. You two have hearts of gold, you know that? Of course it is.
Allow me.
Into the wind. My will embodied.
There it is. It's inside these ruins. As you can see...
Alrighty then. Stay back and take cover, Tiago.
Great minds think alike.
As one with wind and cloud.
The wind knows me.
Do your master's bidding. Transfigurate. Whirling snow. Sakura swirl.
That should be the last of them. It's a good thing Tiago had the set. Hey, look! That's gotta be it, right? Definitely looks like a... True. Now that you mention it, most ancient murals take up a whole huge wall. It does match the story he told us, though. There's a Saurian and a human. Whatever. We're not here to decide... That's a wrap. Let's take it back to Tiago.
You've been robbed? Oh,
I put blood...
Tiago, is this the picture you were looking for?
let me take a look. Hey, Ponche, come and say hi to these guys. They're gonna be the new...
Wait, are you...
Huh?
My nephew Toba's been telling everyone about you. He says you're crazy strong, super friendly...
Oh, so you're Toba's uncle. Great to meet you. Sounds like we managed to make a bit of a name for ourselves.
Toba's not wrong, my friend. These two are honestly some of the nicest, most genuine people I've ever met.
Really? All I want.
Allow me to explain. Ponche is a well-known scholar within our tribe, author of the widely acclaimed...
I spent years of my life researching that book. I visit on the word Malipo alone. I covered at least 5 different.
It was an unparalleled map.
And now it's all gone. That little goon ambushed me during my morning walk. He snatched all of my belongings, including my entire manuscript.
That book was everything to him. It's like they robbed him of his soul when they took it. Look at him. Lost.
Dear honored guests of our clan, I am but a helpless old student.
See what I mean, Ponche? Now you've run into these two?
I don't know if he's still there, but come on, I'll take...
Who says there aren't benefits to a life of wandering?
Hey! You thief!
What do you want now, you old bum? God, you're a waste of space. Prepare to get shoved. But oh, what's this? Eat dirt, suckers!
Hey, he's trying to get away!
Stop, please! By all the warriors, heroes, please. I don't have your.
Oh, yeah? Well, you threw it away?
The old bum's bag didn't have a single mora in it. Just a tatty old all that time lying in wait was for nothing.
Is that really the truth?
The same place you found me. Look, I swear on the Pyro Archon, it's the truth. May all my worldly possessions be turned to ash by.
Okay, that's a pretty... What do we do now? It sounds like he's telling the truth. Right. Let's hope nobody gets to the book before we do.
Although the Turnfire is a heroic symbol in Hoytzatlan, this holds true for all bearers of this ancient name in recorded history. This appears to suggest the existence of some higher power that is always watching the name bearer. Examine Yupanki's Turnfire. Let me see, the author...
Silence, book muncher! The great Kahula will suffer your droning voice no longer.
Do you truly find no joy at all?
Joy? What joy is there in this pointless drivel?
Well, it makes a pretty shocking prediction.
What? You're saying Kinich will die a violent death? So I'll finally get to take over his body? When will that glorious day arrive? The great Kahula demands to know!
Wow, you are just irredeemable, aren't you? An agent of chaos down to the core. You make us Abyss Order folks look like saints in comparison.
Silence, maggot! To presume that anyone compares your kind with the great Kahula is sheer vanity. And if that day ever comes, oh, your doom will soon follow.
You don't need to lecture me about Doomsday. Here's what I know, based on countless historical texts. All civilizations will be reduced to rubble by the passage of time. From ancient kingdoms to... But from the ruins of every civilization, the dust will rise and never settle. thus transcending the... And you, great Kahula How, are one such speck of dust from a... Now, let me take a good look at...
We're so sorry, Mr. Ponche, but we couldn't find your
Does that mean all of my hard work was for nothing?
You gotta stay positive, Ponche. You might have lost the book, but...
The whole reason I worked so hard to get it finished before the Turnfire night... Well, not exactly. But I thought my research might at least be a starting point.
Oh, really? So what did you find out in your research?
I think the key to all of this...
Ponche, you know as well as anyone that ancient names don't hold any real power.
You're right. But Malipo may be a special case, given that at first...
Yeah, I remember that story. Maybe you're the special case.
I'm not talking about childhood superstitions here. There is evidence.
Like what?
Like the fact that the Mountain King is still alive. Everyone attributes that to the power of the Abyss. But there's more to it than that. The key factor is that Burkina summoned the power of Malipo at the cost of his own life. If you don't believe me, then answer me this. How many other creatures can you think of who lived longer, not shorter, after being contaminated by the Abyss?
Traveler, different situation but similar idea. Doesn't this remind you of the hilly...
So, I came to the conclusion that Malipo, it began with the first Pyro Arc...
Hey. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I was originally planning on presenting my findings to Kinich.
Sounds to me like you dreamed up one fanciful theory to support another.
Kinich, what are you doing here?
I more or less finished what I was doing, so I came to have a quick catch-up.
Kinich! I'm onto something. I haven't worked out all the details, but you...
So Mr. Ponche here has done a lot of research on the history of the Turnfire, and thinks he might have found a way for you to solve the...
I'll be there, Ponche. Let's go. Here will do. Yeah. I'd like your help giving it a trial run tomorrow. If that works, we have our plan come Turnfire night.
Sounds like you're not considering Ponche's...
You heard him. He hasn't worked out the details yet.
Yet? Are you saying you think he might actually be onto something?
I think it's possible, based on something I know about the war 500 years ago. Burkina didn't fall to the Abyss. He was killed by the Mountain King in an episode of madness. In his final moments, Burkina made the fateful decision to not fight back, and instead pass his blood and power on to the Mountain King. Maybe he thought the Mountain King was stronger than him, and more valuable to the tribe. Or maybe it was just out of loyalty to his friend. Either way, I can believe the Turnfire was involved. Whether you think his sacrifice triggered it, or his fate was sealed from the moment he took the Malipo name.
How can you drop these truth bombs with such a streak?
This is what I've gleaned from my many interactions with the Mountain King. The story Elder Trinidad told you was the more palatable version of the Mountain King's mind isn't just disordered. He is suffering, and feels great shame.
What? Then...
Of course not. We should help him move to a new home. It's the only practical... The Mountain King is a hero to my tribe. An object of worship, even. Ending his life would be like desecrating a statue. Still, he's been the cause of multiple disasters, and we can't afford to have any more.
Ugh. Practical solutions hurt Paimon's brain.
Then let's break for the day. you're here.
Oh, so the gruesome twosome come crawling back. Here to make amends after the gross irreverence you displayed last time? Very well. The almighty Dragon Lord Kahula How shall grant you the audience that you seek. Now pucker up and kiss our feet.
Kinich, didn't you say you found him a teacher? He's just as out of control as ever!
Hey! No one gets to discipline the almighty Dragon Lord Kahula How! No one!
Maybe because I've never had a gentle-natured companion like Paimon to compare against.
Is that a compliment?
Yeah, I see what I'm missing out on now.
Kinich! We could drown this measly flying ant in one droplet of spit! How dare you compare her to the almighty Dragon Lord Kahula How! Oh, just wait till I possess your dead body! I will commit heinous atrocities! Tear down your legacy! Destroy your reputation! Wreak havoc on your...
Traveler, Paimon, let's get down to business. Once we've opened the beastly rift, you're welcome to toss a How in there for a couple of days.
With pleasure. You don't need to ask.
I got my hands on this device in a trade. It's meant as bait, but it'll also stabilize the abyssal energy. The rift towns will tear through space to get to this. Once they're here, we take them out and claim the rift force. You'll find out soon enough. First, let's try this out. They'll tear you to pieces given half the chance, so be careful.
Rusted rebuild! Cryo incarnate! My will and body! Take flight!
Uh-oh. Are there even bigger ones on the way?
You see, Kinich? I'm a man of my word. In fact, I'd say I under-promised and over-delivered.
I take it this is your true form?
Now that our deal is complete, it's time to start the next phase of our relationship. I made a promise to the great Kahula How, and now I'm here to seize your body for his use. Cliché, I know. The hero's trusted partner sells him out to the abyss in a shocking act of betrayal. Cue bad guy speech and drawn-out death sequence.
Huh? Angel?
Huh? Huh? What are you two doing here? Oh, Mr. Kinich, this is not what we agreed on.
Traveler, this is the gift I got you. I know you're looking for intel on the Abyss Order, so I thought he might be of use to you. But it looks like you've already met.
Yikes. Frosty reception. Gotta say, I kinda pictured this moment going a little differently. Tears of joy welling up in your eyes as you say the words, "It's good to see you again, old..."
Don't be ridiculous. Sounds like you've been reading too many romance novels.
There we have it. Change is inevitable and nothing lasts forever. What a pity. Well then, time for you to meet the new me.
Sanka! Aha! So you're Glasses Guy!
What does it matter? A name is a superficial label. It's what's deep down inside that...
That would explain a lot. Why else would you show up here and start acting like a wise guy?
I'll pass. I do rather like you, as I said before. But my one quibble is that you...
Wait. Of course. You're the one behind all the recent abyss.
Haven't I told you before? I'm not part of the inner circle who do our highnesses' bidding. My interests are far more low stakes. I spend my time digging for truth in ancient doodads and books. You really think a benchwarmer like me is capable of more than that?
I investigated him. He's not connected to the recent events. Just happens to be in the area. So, I struck a deal with him. He helps me summon a rift. I allow him to do some historical research.
But that's all over. And now Kinich wants to hand me over to you. Well, I was hoping this would be an opportune moment to whisk away his body. That would have given me some more time to study the great Kahula How. But now I've run into you, which is just my luck. Or maybe I've Wait, does that count?
How? You are the worst of the worst! Colluding with the Abyss Order against Kinich? How could you—
There is no betrayal. The almighty Dragon Lord Kahula How is a partner to no one.
Don't worry, I told him to act as bait.
Yes, and you should have picked a bigger fish. The Abyss Order? Ha! What a joke. Not even a match for our lowly servant. I put up with this toad's croaking for days, and it was all for nothing.
It looks like your disciplinary measures have been less than effective, Mr. Enjo.
What did you expect? Behavioral rehab isn't really our thing. Otherwise, we might as well change our name from the Abyss Order to the Abyss Boarding School.
The abysmal disorder would suit you better. Kinich, dispose of him. He is of no further use to us.
Traveler?
You see, this is why I like you. Still, you shouldn't underestimate me just because I'm a lowly clerk. I could never beat you in a straight-up fight. But when it comes to running away, I won't lose to anyone. Do me a favor and remember how fast I disappear. Maybe then you'll show me a little respect next time.
Darn! He got away again!
It's all right. He's not worth our time and energy.
If you say so.
To borrow that guy's words, names are superficial labels. Think of it like apples that have fallen from a tree. If you tasted each, even the unripe fruit blown off its branch before it's fully grown can still be brewed into a fine wine.
Well, in that specific sense, maybe Enjo's not—
Of course! Only the almighty Dragon Lord, Kahula How, is rotten to the core and evil beyond redemption.
Ugh. So what exactly are you anyway? You're definitely the evilest little—
Don't worry. He can't hurt a fly. You could say—
I've heard that those kinds of contracts might come with a terrible cost attached.
Such as a how watching me like a ravenous vulture?
Vulture? Vulture? We are the Dragon Supreme, sovereign ruler of the Nation of Flame.
Let's pick this up another time. It's getting kind of late. You should go back and get some rest. Big day ahead. Tomorrow's Turnfire night.
Oh, yeah. Hearing you—
Then it can't hurt to say this one more time. See you tomorrow.
At long last, you're back. I hear you've done much for our people these last few days. Everyone has nothing but praise for you. Many young people have heard the rumors, too. They're all in—
Well, they won't have to wait for long. We really hope we can resolve the Mountain King situation quick.
Well, of course, there's no— ready?
Off we go!
Here we are.
Our honored guests, I have heard much about your fine work over the past.
Don't worry about it. Getting
Oh, if it means getting the Mountain King issue resolved, no cost is too great.
A resolution will come in due course.
No one would disagree with you if that were possible, Chief. But look around you. Can't you see how our numbers have dwindled since the last turn fight?
The ceremony was arranged on short notice. Many are away.
That may be so.
Good evening, traveler.
Kinich! Not a moment too soon.
Chief Wayna, Elder Trinidad, could you give us a minute?
Very well, but make it quick.
Let's step to the side. Has anyone gone up?
Yeah, Elder Trinidad did, but
What a surprise! The flying ant has an ant-sized brain.
If you don't want your tongue to be burned off by the sacred flame tonight, I suggest you stay quiet. See those sacred flame pillars? Once you've lit the fire, go light each one up in turn. Once that's done, head down into the cave where the Mountain King slumbers, light the braziers along the way, then bring the flame to the final altar. Then the ceremony is complete.
that sounds simple enough.
The process isn't complicated, but remember, you mustn't turn back at any point. If you miss a pillar, you can't light the next one, then you have to keep moving forward, or it's seen as disrespecting our ancestors. If that happens, you won't receive the blessing of the turn fire, and you'll have to start over. I made you a diagram that summarizes the steps. Take a look.
So that's our part.
I'll be with you the whole way. And once you've lit the altar, I'll start summoning the rift. You can leave that side of things to me.
Okay. We'll try to remember all that and get it right the first.
Ready when you are. But I think I saw Hooney and the others just now. Just tell the chief when you're ready.
How are you doing? I'm counting on you. Bypassed fuel, and my brothers and sisters, the time has come to light the fire.
Go get the sacred flame. Nicely done. Off to a good start. Great stuff. You're over halfway. Keep it up. Impressive. Just one more to go. Come on, one last push. The final sacred flame pillar is up ahead. Great. All the pillars are alight. Next, it's down into the canyon and head for the Mountain King's cave. almost there. The cave is just up ahead. The Abyss presence is growing strong. We should deal with the contamination first. There's the altar of the sacred flame. Remember, light up the torches around it first.
Woohoo! We've lit up the final altar! That's the Mountain King up ahead, right?
That's him. Kangamato, king of the Yumkasaurs from 500 years ago. He's very powerful.
Paimon can tell. He's huge. Let's try...
You've made it at last. You did even better than I expected.
Traveler, now comes the final and most important step of the ceremony.
There's no need this time.
Such strong abyssal power. What is that thing? Kinich! What is the meaning of this?
Is that a beastly rift?
Chief Lina, Elder Trinidad, this is about to get a little dangerous. You should step back.
What do you think you're doing?
Solving the Mountain King issue.
You mean by having him torn to pieces by Rift Hound?
No, stop! We can't...
Foolish Locust! Can't you see? We're trying to shove your Locust King into the beastly rift!
But...
I'm sorry, Chief Lina and Elder Trinidad. This is the...
Can you promise me that no harm will come to the Mountain King?
I can't guarantee it, but I'm fairly confident.
Traveler, this is not what we agreed on. You must cleanse the Mountain King of every last trace of abyssal contamination. Okay, I see what this is.
Ugh, you imbecile! What have you done?
Oh no! The device is...
You forced my hand.
Elder Trinidad!
No, the Mountain King is waking up. He will cause even more casualties.
Everyone, out! Now!
Well, it seems there is only one way to awaken you all from your willful blindness.
Take me, oh Mountain King! Take me as your next sacrifice!
Everyone's still outside. We have to keep the Mountain King here. Give me a hand.
Don't be scared.
Go in!
Watch out for the fruits he's spitting out. You can use those against him. Yeah, that's it.
What do we do? We can't open the rift!
Kill me! Put an end to White's shame!
By past fuel and present flame, life marches ever on.
Oh, Burkina, I must atone.
Patience. We will answer to the fire for all our deeds. Even if one day I fall behind, never look back. Keep moving forward, as we are now.
Live with your guilt and shame. This is the price to pay.
Heir to the Turnfire, please use my ruined vessel to train the heroes of the future. The will of Kangamato will march ever on till the abyss is stamped out.
Pretty eventful day yesterday, huh?
Traveler, you've come at just the right time. Trinidad's condition is stabilized. He suffered burns on much.
Guess that's the best news we could hope for. Paimon has to ask, is everyone in your tribe such a risk taker? First Kinich?
We're simply not afraid to charge ahead into the unknown. He's fine. Don't worry. He's gone to check. After the incident yesterday, a transparent shell is formed around the Mountain King's body. We don't understand the mechanism behind it, but it is somewhat akin to a scab, in that it stops the abyssal energy within him from bleeding out. We've never seen anything like it. The tribe's most senior elders believe it was caused when he was burned by the sacred flame. I think their theory makes sense. After all, we've never thrown the Mountain King directly into the sacred flame before.
Wow. So it's made a barrier against a...
It's practically a miracle from what we've seen of it so far. It means that the Mountain King's level of abyssal energy is now stable.
Wow. That's amazing!
I know what you're thinking. The young people in the tribe are already speculating that yesterday, because you and Kinich, you summoned the very flame and that fire is what saved them.
Oh, so that was the real Turnfire?
I may be the chief of this tribe, but I've only ever known the Turnfire as if anyone can answer it. I suspect it would be the bearer of the Malipo name.
Ah, so Kinich then. Why don't we...
say yourselves.
We were gonna ask you the same question. You scared Paimon half to death when you
Sorry, I couldn't just stand and watch the Mountain King get burned alive.
So you thought you'd try and extinguish the sacred flame with Dendro? Or is that an attempt to make the almighty Dragon Lord Kahulahau die of laughter?
The sacred flame only possesses a fraction of the Pyro Archon's power. It's not as if I was fighting the Pyro Archon herself.
Kinich, when you went into the flames, were you
Intending to what?
to,
Sacrifice myself? Of course not. My focus was on keeping the Mountain King alive, not on what it would cost. But now I'm curious. What made you
Well, because everyone's saying the Turnfire is what saved the king last night. And Ponche's theory was that summoning the Turnfire is a tit-for-tat exchange, right? So, Paimon thought you decided to pay for it with your life.
So you've heard that rumor too. I'm afraid I can't say for sure. What happened yesterday was a first for me too.
Well, even if you don't know, there's probably no one in the world.
What I would say is, if that really was the power of the Turnfire, I'd sooner believe that the Mountain King summoned it himself.
The Mountain King? Then,
The core meaning of price is not atonement or compensation, but what you're willing to give up in order to obtain what you want. It's easy to die for your sins. Much harder to live with the guilt and keep on going. In the end, the Mountain King chose the latter option. For Burkina and for the tribe. That's the price he paid.
alright. So, how is the Mountain King doing now?
Health-wise, there's nothing to worry about. He'll enter a fighting stance whenever but his attacks are gentler now and not as crazed as before. Like he said yesterday, he just intends to be a sparring partner for people to practice with. Yeah, I tried communicating with him again, but he didn't respond.
We dare say that Locust King has well and truly lost its mind. Its body remains fighting fit thanks to the perverse power of the Abyss, but time has been less kind to its soul. It was ground to a pulp long ago.
But we saw him come back to his senses yesterday.
That was merely one last burst of brain activity before it croaked. As you humans would say, it went out with a bang.
Oh, come on! Stop being such a doomer. Paimon bets the Mountain King has finally let go of the tragedies of the past. That's why he doesn't have time to chat with us. He's too busy thinking about the future.
Well, at least it means my fellow tribespeople can move forward now.
Yeah, that's right. You caught Enjo for us.
But he ended up being completely useless. It's not a fair trade if you lost out.
That's on him. It's not your fault he's useless. Besides, we're friends now.
Friends? But your friend... So, promise me. If you... For you?
So, in the end, only poor...
Yeah, everyone's happy except me. Pony, Toba, you're my friend, so... Huh?
Now hold your horses, kiddo. Okay, before you roll your eyes out of your skull, I promise you can trust me. I almost got my eyebrows burned off by the turd... All right, I'll just get to the point.
What?
You're extreme.
Huh?
On my first day here, I got hit by some... It's a dangerous sport, to be sure.
Oh, such an...
Of course. Anyway, the good times didn't last, because in the hands of the enemy, I was scorned. Why does Uncle Sanka always have to? But in the end, I made it through, and
The moral of the story is to look forward.
Very smart. What I'm trying to tell you is that after I reunited with my friend, she's right behind you.
Another trick about not turning back? Huh?